So here we are at the end of day 7. It's been a week. Um, it's actually hard to believe that the time has gone by so quick, that it's only been 7 days. Um, I'm actually a little bit surprised. Um, Even on one of the notes that my mom left me, she said she feels like the days are going fast. Um, which is good. At least they're not being driven crazy down there. Um, yeah, it's kind of a funny day in some ways. Really want to make the connection and kind of wrote down some thoughts about connecting effortlessly to my inner time sense. So how do I make that happen? And then the realization that by practicing to metronomes, which are external time senses, I'm never really going to connect to my own internal time sense. And I've been doing, I don't know, I guess about half and half so far, metronome and non-metronome. Most of the kit work, when I'm working on beats, I'm usually playing with a metronome, because I want to get my timing happening and stuff. Um, but I feel like I want to, I'm going to shut the machines off for a while and see what happens. It's only day 7, tomorrow's day 8. I can play without the machines for another 2 weeks and still have some time left at the end if I feel like I really need metronome time or whatever. So yeah, this is a time to sort of like, again, strip it down another level. That's one of the trickiest things about being a drummer, is that your timing has to be impeccable, especially nowadays. Drummers are compared to machines. It's expected that we have this kind of almost machine-like time sense. So you can develop that by playing with machines all the time to a certain degree. But I feel like the best drummers just have a good internal time clock, whether they're playing with a machine or not. I feel like mine has gotten stronger, but there's a lot of like syncopations and stuff that I play that I know aren't 100% yet. So I was working on those with the metronome, but it was just kind of real frustrating, and didn't feel like there was any type of internal connection. It just feels like I'm kind of like trying to follow this little machine around or something. So yeah, I'm just gonna shut them off and see where that gets me. Yeah, it was interesting. I saw that movie about Dave Grohl, and I think it was called Sound City. It was a music studio, and he ended up buying the Neve board from that studio. It was the studio where Nirvana recorded their first CD, and then all these other, even before Nirvana, and some after, just tons of hits recorded there. That's where Fleetwood Mac actually was started. That's where they met up. And anyway, you can see the movie. But there was an interesting point where they talked about there's one particular song on that Nirvana CD where they asked, the whole band was speeding up, and the producer of the album said, "No, listen, we're going to have you play to a click track for this one." And Dave Grohl said his heart just sank, and because he's the timekeeper of the band, and now they're telling him there has to be this click there telling him where the time is. But the first time they played that song to a click track, he nails it. So that kind of like stuck with me. It's like, how if I play with I play with metronomes all the time, and it's still hard for me to play and like nail a song to a click track the very first time. There's still like this kind of give and take and figuring out, oh, I'm playing too fast here and all of that. So how what's different about the way Dave Grohl plays? At the time, I don't even think he ever has been a very schooled drummer, but he just has a good rock feel. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like obviously he's got this kind of internal time sense to where if they say, well, play with this other time, then he can just listen to that and match his time up with that. And like all the greats that I like, John Bonham and Ringo Starr and those guys who were playing before the days of click tracks, they all had great time anyway. Zeppelin, some of their songs would move and speed up and slow back down and stuff, but they always felt great. And songs that needed to just sit in a pocket would just sit in a pocket. So what is that? There's got to be something human about it that's accessible. So, yeah, that's the next step. I feel like I don't have anyone to tell me where to go with this. So I'm just kind of figuring it all out. So I just got to go with what I think is best. And that's what I think the next step is. So here goes.